Are you tired of all the marketing BS that's out there? You need to do this thing, that thing, then you just need to plug this in and everything will work. Well, listen, marketing is not that hard if you install a marketing system. I'm John Jantz with Duct Tape Marketing, and I have worked with small business owners, remodeling contractors for over 30 years. And I can tell you that if you take a systematic approach to marketing, you can take control of your marketing. You can differentiate yourself in the market. Sure, there are digital things that have come along in the last 10 years that you have to get and that be a part of, but it all starts with a systematic approach that starts with strategy before tactics. In this video, I want to share with you a case study of a remodeling contractor that we've worked with for a number of years and how we've transformed their business by installing the duct tape marketing system. So let's jump into that case study, shall we? Okay, as I said, I'm going to go over a case study of a real life remodeling contractor that's been a client of ours. So let's set the table a little bit. The situation. They were already a large remodeling contractor in the Kansas City market. Been in business now for 30 plus years and very well respected, very involved in the community. They engaged us initially because they were having trouble differentiating themselves from other contractors and really trying to break away from the pack. So over the course of the last couple of years, we have installed the duct tape marketing system, and I am really proud to say today they are the largest remodeling contractor in their marketing. So you might be first asking, what is the duct tape marketing system? Well, this is it in a nutshell. We start with strategy before tactics, and that's the mistake so many people make today. They just think they need a website, or they need some Facebook ads, or they need some way to rank in Google, and those are all parts of it. But the first part is that you have to develop a strategy first, and that strategy means that you have to understand who makes an ideal customer for your business. Not everyone is a great fit for your business. This is a remodeling contractor that does things right. They are craftsmen. They have a great process. Consequently, they are not the cheapest either. So when they hone in on who they're after, it's got to be somebody who really appreciates the value that they bring, and that's not everyone. We use content today to drive and guide the customer journey. And that first step of developing that strategy, having a core message of differentiation, is how we then are able to apply all of the tactics online and offline in a way that doesn't just implement tactics, it implements the strategy. So first and foremost, we help them differentiate by interviewing their clients and understanding that what they did that was so different was the experience that people had remodeling with them. A lot of people have had bad experiences with remodeling contractors or getting remodeling done in their homes. So the fact that this client, this remodeling contractor, had such a great process, took care of their clients so well that people would even say, yeah, they're not the cheapest, but it's worth it. And that is what I believe is a great way for them to stand out. So for them, the strategy that we developed was to create the design remodel process that allowed them to differentiate on process as much as on the project. Everybody else is talking about what we build and how we get your project done, and what they were really focused on was the experience that the client had along the way. So that became a big part of the brand story and the messaging. We defined process and how they communicated. We started looking at content now to educate, and that allowed them to dominate in search engine optimization. And we showcased great work. So I'm going to show you some of the examples of the things that we've developed for them, because this is how you get the strategy across. You can't just buy ads or get on Facebook and start posting. If your website, which today is the hub of your business, it is where people start, even if they are going to meet with you over and over again. In many cases, they're going to check you out and maybe disqualify you based on what they find on your website. So that is what we focus so much attention on, not just building a nice, pretty website, but one that has value when somebody comes and visits it. So the first thing we developed was, look, they have a great process, so let's educate people on what their process is. Let's make that a big part of our marketing message, because it is a great differentiator. They have a registered or degreed architect on staff, so the discovery and design and the planning components are such a big differentiator for them. They have project managers that run all the construction. They warranty their work and make darn sure that they guarantee that the project's done right. And so communicating this process was actually a great differentiator. If we're going to talk about the experience, well, then show me what the experience is going to be like. We showcase the types of work that they do on their homepage. This is something that a lot of people miss. They just have the big, here's who we are, here's what we do, we've been in business 30 years. Well, people want to go on a journey on your homepage, on your website. They want to find trust elements. They are highly rated. In fact, the most highly rated, most highly decorated contractor in their market. And so we showcase that, put those trust signals on your website. People, let's face it, they love to look at pictures. This is a visual industry. So we showcase every one of their projects. They do some amazing work, some amazing, very large projects. Well, people want to look through those. They want to get ideas. They want to see themselves and their house in these projects. And so we feature these and showcase these up front. We have galleries. Every project, we spend a tremendous amount of money documenting and showcasing those projects. Content. That is actually what allows us to rank in the search engines, and not just, hey, we did another one, but educational content. Yes, we showcase projects, but we also showcase the fact that they're involved in the community, that they run an apprenticeship program to help train folks and get new folks into their business. So we're teaching people that not only do we do great work, but that we are great community players, great community assets. So a lot of this work is somewhat about building the brand. If we want to create a great experience, if we're hanging our hat on the fact that we do create a great experience, then we have to do that throughout the brand as well, throughout the community as well. This is a people-driven business. They have, in this particular case, 9 designers on staff, and we want people to meet those folks. We actually went out and created individual videos of each of their designers talking about how they approach design, where they get their ideas, what they care about, what they do when they're not working. And these little touches give each of these designers a way to introduce themselves, to use in email communication to say, hey, I'm going to come out to your home. Here's who I am, here's what I think, here's a little about me. So then we each of these designers then has their own page with their own video. Now we've also started doing project managers and carpenters as well, because these folks are going to be in your home. They're going to be in the home. Let's communicate, about the experience by showing how great our people are. One of the keys today is that if that person is starting their journey looking for a kitchen remodel or a bath remodel or who's the best at this, they're going to turn online. That's just the way it works today. They may not hire somebody because they found their website or because they found them online, but that's certainly where they are going to look first. So we made sure that we focused the content and some of the on-page and off-page SEO efforts so that they now rank in the top 3 for really every one of their desirable search terms. They're all over the Google Maps, Google My Business. This is such a key point today. About 65 to 70% of their traffic to their website is done on a mobile device. Well, those mobile device folks are not only wanting a good experience looking at your website on a mobile device, but Google is basically taken over the mobile screen with the Google Maps. So they've pretty much unseated every single one of their competitors. So this is just a couple searches. Kitchen remodelers, Kansas City, there you see them number 1. Remodeling companies, Kansas City, there you see them number 1 on the maps and the organic listings as well. Now, you also see those stars. Reviews have become such an important factor. When we started working with this particular contractor, they had a handful, a smattering of reviews, people that had really worked hard to find how to review them. Like a lot of contractors, they have really raving fans, but they weren't getting those reviews. And reviews are such an important ranking factor, social proof factor today. Almost every industry, we won't hire somebody or buy from somebody if they have low rankings. Well, we've worked very hard to increase their rankings. They're, just at this recording time, 68, almost all 5-star reviews because they have happy clients. Now, we've also added AdWords and Facebook advertising, and Facebook for this industry, for your industry, is a great place because people are going there looking for design ideas. They're going there talking to their friends. They're going there to kind of check out a company. And so we are using this because we've got a website now that has great stuff on it, that has great content on it. We're able to drive traffic that we can then nurture through email campaigns by using Facebook and Google Ads. Now, this particular contractor also does handyman work. They do very large upscale projects as well. And so we've been able to segment the different lines of business by using targeting through advertising. In the end, what we're doing today is we're building a marketing strategy, but then we are fixing the website, fixing the content, fixing the SEO, and then we can start maturing. I'm going to show you a screen that's a spreadsheet. This may mean nothing to you, and you may glaze over looking at this, but what I'm trying to demonstrate is this is our roadmap. We start in the build phase where we are handling some of the basics that have to be handled, and then we mature with a client when we work with them so that they can actually start adding elements. So today, because we dominate SEO, we're running advertising, now we could start focusing on hiring, using marketing for hiring. That's a huge, as I'm sure you are aware, that's a huge issue in the industry, getting qualified folks that want to go to work as carpenters. So we've focused on hiring. We've started an apprentice program. We're now doing select radio advertising. We're doing client showcase events. We're doing print magazine features, both advertising and then having the projects featured. But those are now effective because we've built the foundation. And that's really the key to this idea of a system, is that you start in green, then you start adding blue, then you start adding red. That there is a roadmap to follow to grow your marketing and to get complete control, and for you to be able to participate really in all the channels together, as opposed to simply just throwing this tactic up. So what have the results been? Well, look, year over year for the last 5 years, double-digit sales increase. Website traffic up over 400%. I already showed you what from 5 reviews to 68 reviews. Their phone leads are up every single quarter, at least 200% year over year. Their marketing budget's actually stayed fairly fixed. They've decided to add some other things to it because they're trying to build the brand, because they want to keep expanding. But today, they're the #1 ranked and rated remodeler in their market. Let's hear from the chairman of the board, Jake Schlegel. We have a clear picture and roadmap for the future of our business is booming. If you want to increase your online presence big time, be it web or social, duct tape marketing is your answer. So if any of this has made sense to you and you want to talk about how a marketing system might work for your business, I'd love to offer you the ability to schedule a free marketing meeting with us. So we'll evaluate your online presence. We're going to ask you to give us your website address, and we'll evaluate your website or your online presence. We'll show you a marketing system, how it could look for you, and we'll give you some tips to improve your marketing right now. So if you click below and schedule this, we'd love to meet with you and just talk over your situation, where you are today, and how we might be able to help you take control of your marketing. So just click below and schedule your call.